Hello everyone. Sorry. In this lesson, we are going to study or learn about another asynchronous type, which is Queueable Apex. So what is Queueable Apex? Take control of your asynchronous Apex process by using Queueable Interface. This interface enables you to add jobs to the queue and monitor them. Using the interface is an enhanced way of running your asynchronous Apex code compared to the future method. As you remember before, we mentioned that future method also can be used, but Queueable Apex has some advantages over future method. We will mention that. Apex process that run for a long time, such as extensive database operation or external web service calls out, can be run asynchronously by implementing the Queueable interface and adding a job to the Apex job queue. In this way, your asynchronous Apex job runs in the background in its own thread and doesn't delay the execution of your main Apex logic. Each queue job runs when system resources become available. A benefit of using the Queueable interface method is that some governor limits are higher than for asynchronous Apex, such as heap size limits. So what the benefits of Queueable Apex is, Queueable Apex supports the non-primitive type member variables, such as subject or custom Apex types. And second one is system.enqueueJob method returns the asynchronous records ID. Use this ID to find your job and monitor its progress. You can chain one job to another job by using Queueable interface. An example or syntax for our Queueable interface is that first, our class is public on our, or if it's outside, then it should be global. Then we have the name variable, name of our Queueable, and then implement is a must word keyword to use, and Queueable interface name. Sorry. And then after we write public void execute method we don't have start and finish, only we have execute method, and then Queueable context and space context. Then if you want to add an account, just insert it. And there are some limitations for our Queueable interface. The execution of a queue job counts once against the share limit for asynchronous Apex method execution. Can add also up to 50 jobs within a single transaction. We can have also 5, not mentioned, only one job does not, only the one job does the call out in chaining. Only one job does the call out in the chaining. To add this class as a job on the queue, call this method. What is the method? It is ID, data types, and job ID, and system.enqueueJob returns to the ID. New asynchronous example. After you submit Queueable class for execution, the job is added to the queue. Will be processed when system resources become available. You can monitor the status of your job programmatically by querying asynchronous job or through the user interface in setup by entering, Apex job. In setup, in the quick find box, selecting Apex job. To query information about your submitted jobs, perform a SQL query on a synchronous job by filtering on the job ID that the system include method returns. This example uses the job ID variable that was obtained in previous example. And then if you want to find your data, then asynchronous Apex job information equals that you write a SQL from asynchronous Apex job where ID equals to job ID, and the job ID is created by this method, like this declaration ID, and system include job returns to the ID of each job. Similar to future job, queueable job does not process batches, and so the number of processed batch and the number of total batch are always 0. This is a testing queueable job. As you know, for testing you have to use this annotation that is test public class, and then name of the method, and then static should be static, test method, void, and test1 method, and start and stop test block to force asynchronous process to run in the test. And this is our test, and system include job. This is our interface, or our what we want to test, and then validate the job has run by verifying that the record was created, and this query returns only the account created in the text by the queueable class method account, and then from where ID limit, and you will see that if it is created, then it is this one in the previous example, and then what we expect account phone is supposed to be this one. We do assertion after that. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have learned something new.